I'm coming to you first. The thought of Ghostface, Supreme Clientele 2 being executive produced by Mike Dean and Kanye. Are you cool? Will you wait and see? Or are you hype about it?
You know, with all art at this point,
I need an answer on the first part
wait
first.
and see.
You gonna wait and see? Okay.
You know, because I think about, you know, if you really go back, the songs that Jay-Z wound up getting on the blueprint were songs that Kanye West had in mind for Ghostface Killah. You know, if you think about listen to, you think about
good point.
The songs. Think about Never Change.
Yeah,
think you could imagine Ghost on that.
I could.
I can also imagine this artist from Chicago called Payroll.
Talk to him, Lone. Talk to him.
You know, so, but at the same time, that's the old Kanye. I don't know about this new Kanye.
That's the guy that we're talking about.
It could be something like Jail, maybe.
I hope not.
Jail is tight.
Yeah,
for Ghostface.
I don't know. You know, but I think about Ghostface has probably been the most consistent member of the Wu-Tang Clan. I don't even think that's up for debate.
I ain't gonna argue. I'm not gonna argue with that. So. Yeah, I ain't gonna argue with that.
You know, whether he's working with Adrian Young or, you know, the joint with Sour Soul.
Master Killer got some heat.
You know,
Bad, Not Good.
Yeah. So he's been able to work with pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
And still be consistently good. Hell, I even liked the R&B album he did. I mean, I didn't love it, but it was, you know, I still enjoyed it.
Sour Soul was fire.
No, I'm talking about the Wizard of, you know.
Oh, the Wizard of
Poetry. What was that?
I had to look up the name. I know.
Sounds like something I wouldn't like.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Long. Don't do that.
The Wizard of Poetry.
Stop, Long.
Nobody talks about that album.
Yeah, we're gonna go past that.
It was one of those ones where I was like, okay, but luckily he gives me enough consistently to where I'll be like, okay, he's allowed to try something.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So you said you're gonna wait and see.
I'm gonna wait and see.
Okay.
You know, I'm not. I mean, just like I still listen. You know, despite all the issues I have with Kanye artistically, and I don't want to say personally, I don't know, dude.
Don't know him.
But like just his positions that he takes politically, you know, and just the foolishness that he's engaged in the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
I still listened to Donda.
Yeah.
You know, and there's still a couple songs off of Donda I still listen to.
Life of the Party let me know he's still in there. Now, I don't know when that was recorded. I think that was back in obviously he talked about the Red Hats,
It was the recorded way before the Red Hat stuff.
Okay, cool. All right.
But so I mean, maybe he'll hit it out of the park. But once again, Ghostface, I don't care who he's working with.
Yeah,
Ghostface could put out an album of just him singing over Harold Melvin and the Blue Note songs, and I'd probably still be into it, and it'd probably still be dope.
Didn't he already do that?
Exactly.
Very well. Like
that's just the thing. Ghostface will just sing. Oh, he doesn't even. What was it? Holla?
Yeah.
He didn't even loop that up. He just
played the whole
rhymed over the song, and that worked. Only Ghostface could pull that off.
I remember when I heard that, I was like, wow.
I was like, Ghostface is the person that can make this make sense.
Yeah.
Look, I'm still waiting on that "Leave the Door Open" remix with Ghostface.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, I mean, that was entirely too good for me to be listening to lo-fi rips on OK Player. So I still need an official on that.
Lone, I'm coming to you, man. Are you cool? Will you wait and see? Are you hype about the idea of Supreme Clientele 2?
I have two answers.
Yes.
First answer is I'm disappointed that he's calling it Supreme Clientele 2.
Okay. Any reason, or just you hate the series
I hate
albums?
the series thing. Like Supreme Clientele was in the 90s. It's like, now I have to have this like
anticipation
of and judge it based upon what it could potentially be. And now I have to judge it on Supreme Clientele.
It's not going to be good as that first one. I highly doubt it, but
I don't think
I feel you.
You know, so if you just called it like I don't know, there's very Supreme Clienteles out here, you know, or something, you know, something, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I hate that. But as far as everything else is concerned, it's always a wait and see.
Wait and see.
Yeah, with everything, I'm similar to Jay Moore. Like I don't expect anything to be good anymore or anything to be bad. I just want to just hear it. I just want to hear it. And so I'm curious. I mean,
let's talk more work.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm a Ghost fan. I'm a big Ghost fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a Ghostface sign thing right there behind you guys' face.
Yeah,
but,
shout out to Ghost.
But it's like, he's put out so much material. A lot of his material I know. front to back, even some of his nonsensical stuff. But there's a lot of albums from Ghost that I don't know, but I still like. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I would like to. I hope it's good. I know, but I'll wait and see.
Okay. Jay Diff, where you at, man? You cool? You excited? Hype about it, or you just gonna kind of wait and see?
I mean, I'm kind of indifferent.
Okay.
Pretty much based on, I kind of hate the build up, like he stated, having it be called a part 2.
Yeah.
So you're expecting it to kind of be on that level, and then what I'm comparing it to as well. Kanye did an album with Nas. That album with Nas, it wasn't bad, but the whole
wasn't good.
The whole with Kanye, you don't know what you're going to get in that bag. You don't know if you're going to get the version that's mixed down and then he's going to give it to you later, the one that's supposed to be how you're supposed to hear it. Mike Dean even left production with Kanye West because he said it was just not a good environment to be in.
Right.
So when you're putting those two together to make a Supreme Clientele 2, there's no telling what you're going to get out of that, man. And it's like, I would rather it just be done and then they say it's out versus it's out in the open. Everybody's anticipating what's going on, and then it drops and it's kind of like, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to call it.
How are you going to do Supreme Clientele 2 without the people who were on Supreme Clientele 1?
Oh,
you know, just like if somebody.
Well, I understand updating it. So, like, for example, I would maybe
call it something else. Definitely.
Yeah, but like you could get like a Derringer, you can get like an Alchemist, you can get the cast that Griselda are working with. They could probably make that sound right. But we're talking about Kanye West, which and this ain't taking nothing away from Kanye West or Mike Dean. They both have stellar resumes, but we don't know what version of them that we're going to get.
Bingo.
With
I'm
Kanye
more,
being Kanye and Mike Dean being.
Bingo.
I'm more excited about. Excuse me. I'd be more excited about Mike Dean than Kanye at this point because I haven't heard a Kanye West beat that I would like to hear Ghostface on in a long time.
I've been waiting for somebody to say what you just said. That's the point. What do I have to draw from to make me excited about the possibilities of this based off production? Like what has come out in the last 3 to 5 years from Kanye that makes me even remotely get excited about the possibility of him executive producing Ghostface?
He's had some good beats.
The Andre joint,
the Andre joint and some joints on Pablo. But that's my favorite joint on Pablo was produced by Madlib.
Yep.
Right. So it's like, I mean, the beat we always talk about Father Stretch My Hand. That beat is cold.
But this kind of goes back to our conversation last week when we talked about how Diddy does his thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's cases where Kanye does that too right now, where he's putting somebody in position to make something for him, and he's putting his name on it. Dr. Dre did the same thing. So who knows what Kanye is actually out here producing at this point?
That's fair.
Right,
that's fair.
So shouts to Nate in the comments. He said Kanye is executive producing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which, okay, I'm curious, I guess. I'm more curious.
So that makes even more sense to what I just said.
Yeah.
Just like LeBron James executive produced that 2 Chainz.
Yeah. Yeah, and Diddy executive produced American Gangster. Same thing.
Yeah,
I was inspired Playboy. Put my name
shout
on
out to TikTok though. We had a couple people that commented on executive producing. I know this has nothing to do with this conversation, but
go ahead.
I think some people are misconstruing what we're stating.
Yes.
When as far as executive producing is a skill. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to format and structure albums.
Yes.
But in the same token, a lot of people just throw people a coin and say, we're going to just make you the executive producer, and they didn't have anything to do with that. So be cool when you're taking shots and don't know exactly what you're talking about.
Thank you, man. Thank you for that.
Look, I'm just saying.
Be cool in the comments with,
I'm just saying,
careful.
if imagine if you went to a movie and it was a sequel to the first movie that you loved, and none of the people, in fact, they don't even follow the same story.
Yeah.
Like imagine you going to see. Imagine if they went after Star Wars. You went to go see Empire Strikes Back.
This is already,
and there was nobody in the movie from Star Wars, and in fact, it was about a farming town in Georgia.
It's like
the Ghostbusters movie with all the women. Like it was a decent movie, but it didn't follow the story.
It didn't follow
the story, and it's like, oh, there's a familiar character. Oh, he's not the character from the original movies.
It's like what?
Well, I mean,
what if some of those characters are actually going to be used? They're just, I think they're just using this as something to get people hyped.
I think the fact that he's calling it Supreme Clientele 2 has done his job. I think that's the talking point. It's like, oh, Ghost going back in. Like he got part 2 to Supreme Clientele. Everybody knows that's a classic. Kanye West, Mike Dean, executive producer.
But as if he didn't have bulletproof wallets and fish and more fish. You know, like
no, I mean we know that. But what I'm saying is, I think Supreme Clientele is like
Adrian. Like
they sleep. They might be asleep. I don't know. You
the
could
people
be right.
who would care about Kanye West or Mike Dean don't. These are not Ghostface fans anyway.
Here's the thing.
Maybe they're using that tool to pull them in.
True.
Maybe, but like in the streaming era, really, what's the point?
Shout out to 𝐀𝐁𝐎𝐔𝐓 though, because we mentioned that in terms of being executive producing. The reason I'm saying has he given me a reference point is because the hip hop in Kanye, I just can't see him not having joints on this project if he's going to executive produce it. That's where I'm coming from. I'm thinking there's no way he's going to let a Ghostface album be called Supreme Clientele 2 and not put something on there. Like I'm thinking, what is he going to give him? What are the conversations they're going to have about the direction of the album? Now, on the flip side of that, I do know Ghost is Ghost. And I can't see him being swayed to do something.
That's a hard mountain to climb, because when you think about Supreme Clientele, every song on that mug was jamming.
It was jamming.
You know what I'm saying? And they were different. But that whole span of time, whatever the album length is, it was a great experience. So
I mean, he's got songs where he's not rapping about anything at all, and they're still great songs.
Yeah,
this is true.
So I mean, I
can't really even tell you what Apollo Kids is about.
Yeah, that's a high standard to hold yourself to if you want to take on that job. So
I don't know. I just personally would have preferred them to leave that alone. Maybe that's just the nostalgia in me. I mean, Supreme Clientele is one of my favorite albums ever.
Yeah. Period.
So it's like, why play with that?
I mean, it's we've talked about this in the past, but the sequels, the trilogies, like those don't usually.
I don't typically like that, so I'm biased in that manner anyway. So
those don't usually go too well.
ELE 2 was good though.
Yeah.
𝐀𝐁𝐎𝐔𝐓 be low key hating on ELE 2. That's still my guy though.
Sing the song of salvation.
I ain't gonna get started. All right, so man, we'll have to wait and see.
Califragilisticexpialidocious.
Say it.
Califragilisticexpialidocious.
Eating grouper. All right, man. So, I mean, we'll see.
Grouper? Did he really meant to say groper?
Probably grouper. It's a fish.
I think he said grouper the fish.
Ain't grouper? Ain't it grouper?
Grouper.
He said grouper.
Okay.
He said he grouper, didn't he?
I don't remember.
Grouper,
I know
groper,
you don't know.
Tomato, I guess. I don't know. Never mind.
Red Dog still over there cussing me out.
Walk with a diddy bop, op, you silly pop.
Stop.
My rap is like ZD.
Yeah. Shout out to Ghost, man. We love all your random quotes and random bars.
If you've enjoyed this segment of the New Old Heads podcast, make sure you join our live show every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/newoldheads. You can also catch playback of all of our shows on any podcast app and youtube.com/newoldheadsnetwork. And go to newoldheads.com/community to join our Discord.